NNIP is a Dutch asset manager, and sustainable finance is really one of our strategic focus areas. I'd say the focus area. And we manage a range of sustainable equity and bond funds, but also impact products. So a listed equity impact product, which I manage, a green bond fund and a loan fund together with FMO, the Dutch Development Bank. My personal role is to manage the impact fund. So in that fund, we look for companies that make the world better. And for that, these sustainable development goals are really a guideline and starting point. And on top of that, because of the lack of data, we really engage with all the companies in that portfolio to get a sense of what's really happening there. NNIP has a long history going back in sustainable investing since the early 2000s or even the late 1990s. Has been a quiet frontrunner, I would say. And more recently we've become more vocal in this, and I've also seen the assets grow accordingly. The approach has several pillars, so it's about ESG integration, active ownership, but also integration into the core values of the fund. The four pillars are ESG integration, the company's own values, clear, care, commit, the active ownership, but I think even most special would be the focusing on innovative solutions, because in the end sustainability is about change, it's about the transition to a more sustainable economy. So you have to be innovative in the kind of products that belong to that. And that's the focus of all our new efforts there. But also within the products, we have to find new ways to overcome the data problems, create alpha opportunities, etc. Well, we first look if we see an angle with the Sustainable Development Goals. So is there a contribution to one of the SDGs? If yes, it becomes an impact candidate. But then we still have to check three criteria: MIT, material, intentional, transformational. So material in the sense that I'm not going to invest in a company for its water exposure if the water exposure is only 10%. It has to be the majority of sales, or at least profitability and future value. The other thing is intentionality. So it shouldn't be accidentally invested in these areas. Now it should be a strategic priority that they're investing for these improvements. And third, transformational. Again, it's about this change. It's about changing technologies, changing business models that can bring us to a more sustainable economy. And we're looking for those kind of leaders there. The thing that pleasantly surprised me was that lots of people also emphasized this change perspective, and so that was really a shared concern. Of course, there were several ways of how to address that and at what speed, etc. But it struck me that there was a clear consensus on that. And it has become so much clearer to me that you really need this cooperation between the financial sector and the regulators to get it done, because part of it is on the plate of the financial sector in the sense of thinking differently, starting with the purpose and sustainability, and then the returns. So starting from the goals, which requires an entirely different mindset, but also on the regulator side, where we need to change incentives and carrots and sticks, and like the carbon price, but also uniformity in terms of what's really sustainable or not. And if one of them fails, it's going to fail altogether. So we need this cooperation. So we need this kind of conferences to be in dialogue, and that's what I found so unique about this event, was that it actually combined those. Because normally I go to an investor conference and there are going to be all kinds of sustainability-minded investor people from within the financial community, perhaps with some NGOs there, but typically there's not these these regulators there. So it was a great experience.